Hello again, and today we're going to be taking a look at a 2012 Scion XB. Kind of a smaller economy type car in somewhat of that, I don't know, I'm not sure if you'd call this a crossover or a wagon. Probably a wagon or a hatchback. But given that kind of hatchback style, it does have a significant amount of space back here for the size of the car that it is. Starting in the back here, obviously. Under there you're going to find the spare tire. Also does have little storage compartments on either side. So there, more additional storage for, let's say, emergency essentials. You could put a med kit or small portable air compressor or something back there. There's your spare tire. Put that back in place. Nice kind of lowercase x, uppercase B emblem there. I like this car. I've had the opportunity to drive this on the highway doing 70 miles an hour, and it drives excellently. I think it looks excellent as well. I quite like these ankle wheels, like a lot. Has great tires on there. It's in a nice color, metallic light blue. I've always been a fan of that color. And of course, unique styling. Oh, there we go. Yes, this vehicle has a unique look to it, and in my opinion, that just adds to its value. Let's go ahead and take a look at the back seat here. So again, given the shape that it has, this may be a small economy car, but look at that leg room. Tons of leg room. I am 6'1", and look at that. I could put a football field between my knees and the front seat there. And of course, these seats do fold down like so, and they fold fairly flat as well. So you've got a nice flat load surface. And with both of them laid down, again, you got a lot of space back here. There's the button. Push that down, pull it forward. Look at that. Let's get a look from the rear hatch here. And this vehicle, like many modern cars, has a little rubber button to open the back hatch. Look at that space. Such a small little car, great on gas, and yet tons of interior space. Just a ton of it. All right, let's move on to the front seat. So, somewhat of a standard interior door panel. However, as soon as you step inside here, you can see that, let me turn it on and get the steering wheel at a correct position. So, as soon as you step inside, you're going to notice that not a whole lot more is standard. It has a very unique style and layout in here, and I've actually grown to really like it. So as you can see, gone are the typical gauges that you would look through the steering wheel to see, and they are up there a little bit closer to the road and front windshield actually, and that's one of the benefits to this. Along with exterior temperature clock, everything else, you do also have a few settings you can cycle in through here. So, I reset this. I live in a very mountainous area, and I reset this on the highway at the base of a set of mountains, and then drove back up to the car lot here. And I managed to get an average of 27.5 miles per gallon uphill, which is fantastic. I'm going to step out again just to be able to give you a better look at this interior. Again, fairly unique. I can't seem to stop shaking the camera. Very unique layout in here. Nice kind of, this is very accessible, these climate controls and shifter. There's your stereo. My only downside about this interior is the stereo for one reason. The buttons are a little bit small for my taste, simply because I like it to where if you need to adjust something on the stereo, they're big, easy to see, often out of the corner of your eye, so that you're not having to take your hands away from the road very long, or hands and eyes rather away from the road for very long. However, there is a remedy in this vehicle for that, and that is steering wheel audio controls. So really and truly, you won't need to use this this radio deck very often. You can do majority of what you're going to be doing the most often from the steering wheel, which alleviates the aforementioned issues. Here are the climate controls. They are definitely very straightforward, simple, and easy to use. And then in this vehicle, there's nice little storage nooks all around. Of course, you have the typical door panel little slot there. You do have a glove box that is fairly sizable, and a nice little compartment right there, which is quite nice. I also noted that you could very easily store smaller items like perhaps papers and stuff like that here in front of the gauges without it obstructing your vision. And then you also have this nice, somewhat deep little pocket to the left there. Moving down to the center console, you've got your typical cup holders, along with kind of a, I don't know, a little miscellaneous slot there is what I might call it. And then you do have the, there we go, you do have the center console compartment as well. And in addition to that is a little USB and auxiliary plug-in area. All right, let's go ahead and take this out for a drive and see how it drives. All right, driving the 2012 Scion XB. First off, I would say it is very similar as far as the driving experience goes to many other economy or compact cars. The only difference I would say right off the bat is going to be maybe build quality. The Scion is produced by Toyota, and so, you know, Toyota really does have an exceptional build quality, and this is no different. Going around corners, even on the highway, this vehicle feels firmly planted to the ground. It handles very well, corners very well, and of course, being a compact-sized car, it also maneuvers at low speeds very, very well. You know, so around a parking lot or similar stuff like that, it really is going to get around and maneuver and bob and weave through the vehicles very well. And of course, the AC in this vehicle is ice cold. And that is a plus because it was kind of a hotter day today. The temperature sensor in the car is saying 89 degrees. That may have been, maybe because that area, wherever the sensor is located, was sitting in the sun. However, the weather is supposed to be a high of like 84 or 85 today. And boy, I felt it. I know for many of you that's not very hot, especially those who would be in like the Phoenix area, but for me it is toasty up here. And as with most compact cars, you do hear a significant bit of road noise. Not so much that it's disturbing or anything, but you are going to hear that road noise coming through the vehicle. I truly can't say enough about how well this vehicle handles. You know, being a smaller size vehicle and it's kind of squat low to the ground, it can really whip around the corners and stay firmly planted. It feels great to corner in this vehicle. You have full confidence. Man, what a great daily driver this vehicle is. It really, I mean, as I've mentioned, it's maneuverable. It gets great fuel economy. Very easy to drive. I quite like the layout in here. It is a very nice, easy vehicle. You know, the seats in this car are actually, now that I've had some somewhat substantial seat time, the seats on this are surprisingly comfortable. They're actually kind of cushy, and I do like cushy seats. And you know, my overall opinion or impression of the 2012 Scion XB is it's very pleasant. What a great little vehicle to drive. You know, tons of storage space in the back. You're not going to be restricted as far as what you can put in this vehicle. I mean, of course, you are, but as with everything, I mean, a huge pickup truck still has restrictions. A box truck still has restrictions associated with its size, and that's the great part about this vehicle, is that although it isn't large in size, it still has a pretty significant amount of storage space in the back. And again, handles very well, great fuel economy, comfortable, lots of rear leg room, lots of headroom due to the shape of the vehicle, which contributes to the other things as well. All in all, this is going to make somebody a great daily driver, and it's really going to serve them well. It's very well rounded, you know? The only thing that I could say that would just make this that much better is if perhaps it came with an all-wheel drive option, which I don't think they did, and I don't think they need to. You know, you're not really going to be taking this vehicle you know, way out in dirt roads or over through lots of snow or anything like that. It is still front-wheel drive, so it will still perform fairly well in the snow and other adverse weather conditions. But I think this vehicle's just perfect the way it is. You know, it's kind of a special vehicle. It's made by Toyota, but it was created kind of a little bit outside the mold, so to speak. You know, the gauges are up there, and again, I like that because they are actually closer to your view of the road. Your eyes don't have to travel that much to check your speed or what have you, and it's a great little car. I think whoever gets this vehicle will really enjoy it. All right, so there was my overview and test drive of the 2012 Scion XB. This particular one has 150,000 miles, and it really does not show it. Inside and out, it is in excellent condition. And as I mentioned, I personally think it is a great looking vehicle, very unique, and those wheels are just to die for. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for the next video review.